remember that show we used to watch as kids. I wonder if it's as good as we remember it.
Yep, Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot, another show from the forgotten Fox Kids block. Yeah, this one was pretty good. In fact, one of my favorite series. That was back when Fox was just experimenting with so many amazing things, and they struck gold with this Frank Miller graphic novel. First appearing as a guest star in Darkhorse's Madman series on issue 6, it eventually got its own 2-issue limited run series. The Big Guy also makes guest appearances in some of Frank's other work, Martha Washington in Space, and his last Sin City book. But we're here to talk about cartoons, so let's get started. The show follows a very pulp sci-fi aesthetic, with Rusty being the archetypal boy robot in the vein of Astro Boy, and the Big Guy being straight out of a 1950s style pulp comic or Flash Gordon serial. I mean, the guy is straight up a slice of American apple pie.
No, none of this Earth's surgical probe-wielding invaders gonna deprive this planet's children and their growing bones of even one glass of wholesome milk.
For a great example, just think of Liberty Prime from Fallout 3.
Democracy is truth. Communism is death.
The voice cast does an amazing job, particularly Pamela Adlon as Rusty.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
Though obviously Jonathan David Cook as the Big Guy steals the show.
Time to dish out the candy.
It's a good match of the Eastern and the Western, and they both play off of each other very well. Pulpy really is the word to describe it. It's the type of future that comes about when you have optimism, that whole past version of the future. There's no real cynicism in this. Everything is just so open and optimistic, with futuristic sci-fi robots right next to old-timey retro cars and clothing. It was a great show, but unfortunately it was also a show that Fox seemed to have no actual faith in. After airing originally in 1999, the show only put out the first 6 episodes, then got completely put off on the back burner until 2001 when the Fox Kids network was actually being removed anyway, so they just rushed out the last bunch of episodes, which was an actual entire season of the show. And once it got out there, it just was loved. Everyone could see how amazing this thing was, but it was just too late, and there was never a DVD release of anything for years to come. The show, for the most part, followed a standard Monster of the Week formula, with sprinkles here and there of something more going on in the background. But those Monsters of the Week were amazing. This show had such wonderful creature design, with everything being grotesque, over the top. Basically think any B horror movie you could think of, but dialed up to 11, because they didn't have to worry about suits. They could just go wild with their imaginations. We got good aliens, we got bad aliens. We got good robots, we got bad robots. We got just regular human nonsense, and then we got the Legion Ex Machina, who still to this day are the gold standard of evil organizations for me. A group of cybernetic scientists who were developing ways to advance artificial intelligence and push humanity to the brink, to the next stage. There's a wonderful back and forth in this series about the strengths and weaknesses, the inherent goodness, and the downfall of the advancements in technology, whether or not these things are helpful or harmful to humanity and society as a whole. And this is embodied in our title characters, Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot. Big Guy is what you'd think. He's the big robot. He's the all-American hero. He's American ingenuity and intelligence right there on the battlefield. Think, as I was talking about Liberty Prime, but far closer actually to Captain America as a robot. But the secret to the character is that he's not a robot. He's a human. He's a person in a giant robot suit. One of my favorite big bad gun-toting all-American robot suits of all time.
We know the true hero to be the soldier within. Lieutenant Dwayne Hunter, for your unflinching dedication and bravery, the BGY-11 Commission awards you the Medal of Honor.
And that brings us to Rusty the Boy Robot. the big guy's #1 fan. Rusty's a prototype. He's the first fully functioning, real AI that they've got out there. Someone who's supposed to be the successor to the big guy line, but is still programmed just as a child. He's learning, growing, and developing, and he needs the big guy as his hero, as the guy who shows him what it is to be a hero. And he is 100% AI, 100% robot. The robot and the robot boy takes precedence because he doesn't want to be human. He doesn't care about having like human feelings in the sensation way. I mean, yes, he has emotions. He very, very much has emotion, but he never wants to be a human hero. He doesn't see humans as bad or inferior. He just likes who and what he is, and he's comfortable with that. It leads to a lot of fun stuff with him not knowing that the big guy is actually a human being inside of that robot suit. And it's one of the big, unfortunate, missed opportunities that the show ended before he could actually find out what was going on. Now, with only 2 seasons, there were a lot of plot threads that didn't end up going where they could have gone, but there was still so much there. There's so much heart and soul built into this show, and even into the comics that it came from. I will say, go out there, pick up the DVDs that are actually now available, watch it. You will thank yourself that you found this wonderfully well done show, this hidden gem. Until next time, this is Catcher's Boy, and Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot, that was a thing.
Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the video though. Press subscribe so you're notified when I upload again.